It's not that I don't plug my mobile phone into the charger, it's just that I forget to switch on the wall socket for the whole kit and caboodle. With the result that when I need it most, my device is as flat as a pancake. Sometimes we can find our days like that. Perhaps we've been overdoing it at work. Maybe the to-do list is exponentially growing and we are unable to cope. Or still, events, near or far, too can get on top of us and our batteries drain down rapidly. No wonder at such times we're like an old car trying to start on a cold morning. Jesus knew that that would be the case with his disciples when he was gone. They were a willing crew, but an unlikely one. They seemed often to misunderstand, go off at tangents, and generally they were not leadership material. Yet they were his only plan of keeping his teaching and preaching alive. They were his plan A through to Z. That's why he promised them the Holy Spirit. More to the point, that is why he sent the Holy Spirit. And lo and behold, it worked. For the Spirit powered them up, fired up those bereaved followers, fired them into starting over again. It got them to make something unique. For, due to the Spirit, that ragtag group became the church, and the rest is, as they say, history. Well, we could spend time discussing the exact meaning of John's Greek word in his Gospel, the one he used to describe the Holy Spirit. In some translations it's the Comforter, in others the Advocate. But in the end we must accept what Jesus was talking about was so profound as to be untranslatable. Perhaps even so universally useful as to be beyond our understanding. For as Paul Washer remarked, I used to tell young preachers, in order to preach, you've got to the power of God in your life. Now I tell them, even to tie your shoes, you've got to the Holy Spirit in your life. But this unfathomability of the Spirit, is it a showstopper? Well, talking of cell phones, I have to admit I have only the sketchiest idea how the thing works. Yet in the end, that matters not one jot. For I can make calls to friends and to parishioners and family without the faintest idea of the technology behind it all, behind our talking. So it is with the Spirit. We do not need to know the ins and outs of the working and being of the Holy Spirit. Instead, we need only know how to use it. And how is that? Well, Garfield Beckstead tells the story written some years ago about a man who discovered an amazing inner spiritual peace. He had lost his entire fortune in the stock market crash of the 1930s. He drank himself nearly to death. He decided to take his own life by walking out into the ocean and swimming past the point of no return. As he came to the edge of the water, he noticed something sparkling in the sand. He reached down and found it was a pale, delicate shell. He stood there completely captivated by it. Finally he picked it up. It was so delicate that the least pressure of his fingers would have crushed it completely. He was fascinated. He was fascinated, how could it be so undamaged and perfect? He was puzzled by the fact, as the waves roared in upon him, it had not been damaged. How could such a small shell remain intact and unbroken in the midst of the tons of seething water? Suddenly it dawned on him that the shell simply yielded itself to the waters, and by giving in to the torrent, it survived. Suddenly the man saw himself that he had been fighting God's Spirit. In fact, he was trying to defy the spiritual forces at the very heart of the universe. At that realization, he dropped on his knees and placed his life into the hand of God. He walked away. He walked away into a new life of faith, a new life with the Holy Spirit. Therefore, if your days are burdened, be open to the Spirit and offer up your loading to God. If you have too much or even too little to do, let the Holy Spirit guide your hands. If your world is a storm of turmoil, give in to the Spirit and let it raise you above the waves. Then let it steer you to the safety on a sure beach, the sure beach of faith. Put simply, if your life's battery is dead, don't despair. Instead, plug into that portable power bank that is always handy. Then let the Holy Spirit fill you with energy, recharge you, so that you can dial again into Christ and answer your problems back. Amen.